Once I had gotten the main idea and general character designs for the Grossfarken and The Boy, it was time to write. So welcome to the process behind the story and screenplay of the Grossfarken and The Boy. Right after the Lights of Sapling Village, I was eager to animate something again. So I waited 9 months, and then I stumbled upon the initial draft for the Grossfarken and The Boy. And that's when I decided, yes, this is what I'm gonna write. But it needed some work. So I ended up rewriting the Grossfarken and The Boy. I kept it in its original prose format, and honestly, there's not that much I changed. Everything remained largely the same, but my writing style and grammar got a lot better. The real changes were seen in the screenplay. So writing an actual screenplay, with like stage directions and dialogue, is pretty different from writing regular prose. So once again, it was necessary for me to rewrite the Grossfarken and The Boy for a third time. And this is where I feel I did something really important to any story, which is consolidate. What do I mean? Well, originally in the prose, there were 2 times where the Grossfarken is described as being tranquil, with his toe in the water, and while it felt necessary in the prose, it was too drawn out for the screenplay. So, I consolidated, and got rid of the fluff of the original first scene of the Grossfarken being all tranquil. I love doing this to stories, because there are so many places where you can get repetitive by accident when making a story. Cutting the fluff or extra and unnecessary connections helps to streamline the story in my opinion, and overall makes everything feel tighter and more purposeful. I had an example of this with a story that I was playing around with like 6 years ago. There were these kids and they were at a special school for something. I honestly don't remember. But then a big part of the story was that they could intern with these bigger guys as part of a school program. But look at it here. The kids are going through the school to get to the big internship. And I didn't really have any reason for the school or anything about the school in my head. So I just cut it out and made the school and the internship program one and the same. And would you look at that? It's so clean. And it opens up a new, more interesting can of worms for you to discover about your world. Now you gotta ask all these questions. Why are they the same? What's going on here? Stuff like that. Also, when writing your screenplay, make sure you have a group of people to catch you on your writing shortcomings. That way you can make things actually good instead of just stuck in your head. For instance, when the boy says, "I don't know why, I like it here," he was originally gonna say, "I don't know why, I like it here, I think you're cool." And I was swiftly told that the boy saying cool is very strange and would not match up with the apparent time period of the story. It also helps to take a break from your writings and come back to it after a while of not thinking about it. It resets your brain and you're like, no, this doesn't make sense, or I could add this here. I also recommend printing out your screenplay and revising it with actual pen to paper notes. I did this a bunch, and rewrote and reprinted it just to make sure everything was right. Sometimes reading it on a physical paper helps the issues come to light a little bit easier. There were plenty of times where I was caught writing stuff in the screenplay that wasn't necessarily good for the story. And being caught and taking that constructive criticism in and actually working with it for the sake of your story is incredibly helpful. Another fun part, and my favorite part, about making a screenplay is making it actually look like one. Like a real official one. I'm talking about courier new font, italicized stage directions and brackets, page numbers, all of it fit to the center of the page, bold names for the characters whenever they're talking, all the good stuff. It's so fun. It's a little pointless, but it really is so much fun. And it looks so cool. Like, look at this. This is the printed version of the script. And it looks way more official than I have any credit to be making. I just think it's so awesome. I like to think that this helps with readability. Your voice actors can look at the screenplay and know exactly what's expected of them, and can pick out their lines very fast. But honestly, I think it just looks super duper cool, and might not serve any real purpose. I could have none of that, and it would probably be just as readable. But it's still cool. Thank you for coming along with me and taking this little trip into the process of me writing and adapting the screenplay for the Grossfarken and The Boy. Next week, we'll be covering the planning phase of production, a very necessary step that involves one of my favorite things, spreadsheets.